Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another episode of Chemical Guys Detail Garage. Today, we are fixing someone else's mistakes. A user took a polisher to this Mercedes-Benz and unfortunately, he did not have the polisher flat. He actually didn't break down the polish correctly. So what he did over time is just cause more damage to the paint instead of correction. So now there's a haze sitting on it. So in today's video, I'll actually restore the paint back to an original gloss that everybody wants. Before we get into this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We have brand new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We teach you about everything you need to know about detailing, from cleaning your car from the inside, outside, undercarriage, engine bay, and much more. So whatever you do, hit that subscribe button, turn the post notifications on, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Before we get into the polishing step, we're gonna start off by clay barring the surface of the vehicle just so we can remove any contamination that might be still on the surface of the vehicle. If I actually grab my hand and I come close, there's a little bit of contamination sitting on the pores of the paint. So what I want to do is actually remove away from the paint. So like this, I don't push them down deeper into the paint whenever I'm polishing, and I actually get an actual correction instead of more scratches and swirls. So today, I'll be using the OG clay bar and my clay luber. Before anything, I'll just open up my OG clay bar, get a small portion of clay out, put this back right there. I'll put it in a little ball, and then I'll knead it into a patty. So now I'll get my clay bar and put it to a 3-finger width, just so I could get enough uneven coverage and keep my clay bar in a certain area whenever I am using it. And in my secondary spray bottle, I already have clay luber. So I'll go to the surface of this vehicle and spray some clay luber onto it. But as you guys can see, I actually have a tape line just because I want to show you guys a before and after of a correction compared to an imperfection. So I'll spray some clay luber onto the paint, and then I'll spray some onto my clay bar, and then I'll just go side to side. And what the clay bar does, it's picking up all the contamination away from the pores of the paint. So I actually have a smooth as glass finish. And whenever I get my polisher and my polish onto the paint, it's actually not going to have any contamination. It's actually going to a correction instead of just causing more swirl marks. So what you want to do is just go side to side, up and down, never go in circular motions, because if you do go in circular motions, the contamination could get pushed deeper into the paint. You'll cause more scratches and swirls. So after a couple passes, if I show you guys, this clay bar, it actually has tons of contamination on it. All around it has contamination, and what all that is just sitting on the clear coat, and over time it embeds deeper into the clear coat. That's whenever you'll have to use a much heavier clay bar, such as a heavy duty clay bar. But in this occasion, it has very light contamination, so I'll be using the OG clay bar. I'll grab my microfiber towel and just buff off the residue of the clay luber. So now, let me just finish doing the rest of this hood, and once I'm done doing the rest of this hood, I'll get back to you guys and we'll get to polishing. Alright guys, so we just finished clay barring the surface of this vehicle, and now it is smooth as glass. There is no more contaminants sitting on the surface of the paint, so if I actually grab my hand and just glide it across, there's no more contamination whatsoever. So now we're going to be moving on to the next step, which is going to be using P4 and our Torque 15DA polisher with the orange medium duty heavy cutting pad. So I went with P4 perfection polish just because it's a very light polish, and since it does have this haze on it, I'll start off very, very soft, and then I'm gonna move up more aggressive if I need to. So P4 perfection polish is going to be a great polish to start off with. And like I said, if I need to go much heavier, I might even bring out the V-line, because I need to know what is the condition of this paint, how soft is the clear coat. But if I like the correction I get with P4 perfection polish, then I'll continue it, and if I don't, I'll just get the V-line. So guys, what you guys want to do whenever you guys are polishing is shake up the product before using it. You'll go to your polisher, you'll add 5 dime-sized drops to your polishing pad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And after we add 5 dime-sized drops, I'll just get my pad conditioner and just spray it. The reason why I wanted to spray pad conditioner onto my polishing pad is just so I can reduce friction and heat on this paint. And then I'll go to the area, and then I'm just going to blotch it, and I'm actually going to divide this hood in 4 different sections. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And yes, I did spray some pad conditioner on it. It's perfectly fine. Whenever I go back, I could just buff it off with a microfiber towel. But since I'm just focused on this area, all I'll do is just blotch it out. And then I'm actually going to work in the product on speed setting 1. So all you need to do is just turn on the machine. Then you'll click the plus dial. You'll spread out the product. And after you spread out the product, you'll return on the machine and bump it up to speed setting 6, and you'll work in P4 perfection polish until it's clear translucent. Then I'll inspect my paint, and if I like the correction, I'll continue it. So anyways, guys, sit back and relax and enjoy this polishing set. All right, guys, so we just finished doing the very first pass using P4 Perfection Polish and our orange medium duty heavy cutting pad. So all I'll do is just get a microfiber towel and buff off the residue to see the actual cut that I achieved. And wow, I mean, I already see a mirror reflection. Just even right here, you guys can come close. If you guys come close, you guys can see on this side, there's still a haze compared to this side. It's all just a mirror finish. And P4 Perfection Polish is doing an amazing job at restoring the gloss on this Mercedes-Benz. Because keep this in mind, this Mercedes-Benz had marring, had pigtails, had everything you think of on this paint. And unfortunately, whenever it was parked out in the sunlight, you can see all those imperfections. So P4 Perfection Polish is a go-to in this occasion. So guys, let me just finish doing the whole entire half of this hood, and then I'll get back to you guys and show you guys a 50-50 from that side compared to this side. Let's get started. All right, guys, so I just finished polishing out this Mercedes-Benz. As you guys can see, it has a mirror reflection, but I actually want to show you guys actually get a true cut, so I'll be using Wipeout. Wipeout is a surface cleanser that's going to remove any suspended oils or compounds that is currently on the surface. So all you need to do is just grab it, you'll spray it onto the surface, and what this is going to do is you're going to remove any oils that might be sitting on the surface of the vehicle. So whenever I come back to protect it with HydroSlick, it's actually going to bond onto the surface and not just sit on top of the clear coat. So if I remove everything, I'll come back to this area, be very generous. I'll get my microfiber towel, and all I'll do is just wipe the surface in linear motions. Like this, I prevent scratches and swirls. So I'll just go side to side. Make sure the wipeout is completely away, and then I'll just get this last portion of this hood. And once I finish with wipeout, I'll be able to get my HydroSlick and apply it to the surface so I can protect my hard work I just did. Flip it over to the clean side, buff off the residue. All right, so I just finished using Wipeout on the surface of this car, and now it's just time to move on to my final step, which is going to be applying HydroSlick. So if you're not familiar with HydroSlick, our Hydro line is a full ceramic line that is easy to use and anybody can apply it. So HydroSlick is a ceramic hyper wax. The hyper wax mimics the application of a wax. So all you need to do before using it is just shake it up, and then you'll apply 4 dime-sized drops to your applicator. And now go to the surface, and all I'll do is just blotch it out. And then I'll go in linear motions to apply it, and then I'll cross hatch it just so I can make sure I get an even coverage around the whole entire paint. So how long should I leave HydroSlick on the paint? It all depends where you live. If you live in a high humid area, currently here in this room is fairly hot, so I'll just let it sit for 30 seconds. If you live in an area where it's a little bit much more cooler, you can let it sit for up to a minute. And if you live in an area that is super hot, just let it sit for 15 seconds and just buff it right off. So like I told you guys, I'll be cross-hatching it just so I can get an even coverage. And the HydroSlick can actually get inside the pores of the paint. And now I'll just let it sit for 30 seconds. And then once it's time to buff it off, I'll be back with you guys so I can show you guys the mirror reflection it achieves. All right, guys, so I just finished using HydroSlick on this surface of this hood, and as you guys can see, the mirror reflection is there. Compared to that side, it's still neglected. It still has a hazy part. So right now, you guys on the screen, you guys are actually seeing a big before and after. On this side, it currently has a mirror reflection. Compared to that, there's still imperfections. So guys, if you guys want to pick up any of these products I used today in this video, you can hop onto our website now, chemicalguys.com, and pick them up there, or you can stop by your local detail garage. I recommend you do so. We have over 85 detail garage locations across the globe, including Canada and the UK. And as always, I'm Henry, and thank you for sharing your passion for shine with Chemical Guys.